My name is Mufti Menk, and I welcome you to a place of peace, reflection, and truth. Here we uncover the hidden realities of life and faith, where not every smile is sincere, where true friendship is revealed only in hardship, where envy poisons the soul, and where actions speak louder than words. Together, we remind ourselves that companionship shapes our path, and above all, trust belongs only to Allah, the one who never fails. These reminders are not just words, they are light for your heart, strength for your soul, and guidance for your journey. If you long for wisdom that brings you closer to Allah, for truth that purifies the heart, and for reminders that protect your soul, then you are in the right place. Subscribe, share, and join this sanctuary of faith, so that these words may reach hearts in need and inspire change before it's too late. Smiles can be deceiving. Not every smile that meets you is filled with love, sincerity, or goodwill. Some smiles come from hearts that harbor jealousy, envy, or even malice. A smile on the face can easily disguise what is hidden in the chest, and this is why Allah reminds us in the Quran that only He knows what lies in the breasts of mankind. People may fool you with kind gestures, with soft words, with laughter and flattery, but Allah alone sees the truth of every heart. Too many times in life, we take comfort in appearances. We see a person smiling at us and assume that their smile means they are with us, that they care for us, that they wish us well, but appearances are often misleading. Just because someone smiles, it does not mean they are your friend. Sometimes those who show you the brightest smile are the ones waiting for your downfall. Sometimes those who clap the loudest in your moments of joy are the very ones hoping for your failure in the dark. It is human nature to crave acceptance, to want people around us who affirm us, who make us feel seen. But we must never forget that true safety does not come from being surrounded by many faces, many voices, or many smiles. It comes from surrounding ourselves with sincerity, with honesty, with hearts that fear Allah and wish for us what they would wish for themselves. And those hearts are rare. Do not be surprised when life shows you that most who claim to be close to you are merely close in words, but far in loyalty. The Prophet himself faced betrayal from those who smiled in his presence. There were hypocrites in Medina who would sit in the gatherings of the Messenger of Allah, listen to his words, and even smile at him. But behind those smiles was hatred, envy, and the desire to see harm come to him and his mission. Yet he placed his trust in Allah alone and continued his path with courage. From this we learn that even the most blessed among us encountered false smiles, so how could we expect to be spared from them? Envy is a dangerous disease. A person may smile at your success while their heart burns with jealousy. They may show you support while secretly wishing for your loss. This is why the Prophet taught us to seek protection from the evil of the envier when he envies. Because envy does not remain hidden for long, it turns into action, into harm, into betrayal. We must guard our hearts with du'a, asking Allah to protect us from false companions and from those whose smiles mask hatred. When someone smiles at you, do not rush to place your trust in them. Trust must be earned over time, through consistency, through actions that match words. A smile is easy, loyalty is hard. Many will greet you with a smile when you are successful, when you are strong, when you are surrounded by blessings. But when hardship strikes, when your blessings are tested, when you fall into difficulty, that is when you will see who truly stands by you. Smiles vanish, masks fall, and reality is exposed. This is why the believer places trust not in the smile of a human being, but in the mercy of Allah. When people smile at you, say Alhamdulillah, but do not let their smile be your source of peace. Let your peace come from knowing that Allah is with you, that His mercy never deceives, that His love is not conditional, that His support is not false. He does not smile at you with envy. He showers you with blessings out of pure love and wisdom. Do not let betrayal harden your heart. If someone's smile turned out to be false, do not let it make you bitter. Instead, let it make you wiser. Let it remind you that Allah has just shown you a truth you needed to know. Every time someone's false smile is exposed, it is Allah's way of protecting you from deeper harm. It is His way of showing you who is not worthy of your trust, so you may redirect your heart toward Him alone. Remember that true friends will smile at you not only when you are winning, but also when you are weeping. They will smile at you not only in times of joy, but in times of pain. Their smile will not be a mask, but a reflection of the sincerity in their heart. Such people are few, and when Allah blesses you with one, hold on to them and thank Him for that gift. Until then, walk carefully in this world. Do not be blinded by smiles or deceived by sweet words. Measure people by their actions, by their consistency, by their taqwa. And above all, keep your reliance on Allah, the one who never betrays, never envies, never abandons. Because in the end, not every smile is love, not every smile is truth, and not every smile is friendship. But the mercy of Allah is always sincere, and His love is always real. True friendship is not revealed in moments of ease, in days of sunshine, or in seasons of plenty. It is revealed when the storm clouds gather, when your heart is heavy, when the world seems to close its doors upon you. That is when you begin to see who truly stands beside you. In times of comfort, everyone is willing to be your companion. Smiles are plenty, words of encouragement flow, and your circle feels wide. But when Allah tests you with difficulty, when wealth fades, when health weakens, when calamity strikes, you will witness a reality that appearances cannot hide. Many of those who once claimed closeness will quietly disappear. Their words will fade, their support will vanish, and their smiles will no longer be seen. Through this loss, Allah teaches you the priceless lesson that true friendship is rare, and that hardship is the filter through which sincerity is exposed. The Prophet said, "The most beloved people to Allah are those who are most beneficial to others." A true friend is one who benefits you, not in fleeting moments of ease, but in times of real need. They lift you when you fall, they stand by you when the world turns away. They remind you of Allah when your heart is drowning in despair. They do not abandon you when your blessings are tested. Instead, they see your weakness and they cover it. They see your pain and they pray for you. They see your struggles and they extend their hand, not for their own gain, but for your relief. This is true companionship, and Allah shows it to you only when you are placed in a test. Too often, we confuse associates with friends. We mistake those who enjoy our company for those who are loyal to our hearts. But hardship is the unveiling. When your health falters, when your finances crumble, when your reputation is questioned, or when calamity descends upon your life, then you will see who stands with you. It is in the darkness that light becomes visible. Those who remain by your side in difficulty are not just friends, they are a mercy from Allah, for in their loyalty He is teaching you that sincerity exists, even if rare. Think of the story of the Prophet Ayub. He lost his wealth, his health, and his family, yet his true companion was his wife, who stood by him, patient and loyal, serving him with love when the world had turned away. Her loyalty was tested in the harshest of storms, and it shone bright. Such examples are not just stories of the past, but reminders for us in the present. They teach us that true friendship, like true love, is not measured by words or smiles, but by sacrifice and endurance when trials descend. When life is easy, everyone wants to be near you. They share your table, they join your laughter, they bask in your success. But when the storm arrives, when wealth is no longer yours to share, when laughter is replaced with tears, when success fades into struggle, then the crowd disperses. Do not despair when this happens, for it is Allah who is removing from you those who were never sincere. He is protecting you from hearts that would only drag you deeper into pain. He is showing you who matters, and more importantly, He is calling you back to Himself. The believer's strength is not in the number of companions, but in the quality of companionship. One righteous friend is better than 1,000 false ones. One companion who reminds you of Allah in your darkest moment is worth more than a multitude of smiles in your ease. This is why the Prophet said, "A person is upon the religion of his close friend, so let each of you look at whom he takes as a friend." True friends are not only loyal in hardship, they are also a means of guiding you back to Allah when you are lost in trial. When you find yourself in difficulty, do not only look at who has remained with you, also look within yourself. Are you the type of friend who stands by others in their hardship? Do you show loyalty when others are tested? Do you offer help, compassion, and prayer when someone's world collapses? For as much as we desire true friends, we must also strive to be one. Loyalty is not only to be received, it is to be given. And Allah loves those who stand by others, for it is a reflection of mercy, compassion, and sincerity. Sometimes you may feel abandoned. You may feel that no one has remained by your side, that the storms of life have left you alone. But know this, you are never truly alone. Even if every human being turns away from you, Allah remains with you. His support is constant, His mercy is endless, and His companionship is the greatest of all. Trials are designed to bring you closer to Him, to detach your heart from false supports, and to anchor it firmly in His divine presence. So do not despair when you lose people in hardship. Do not weep over those who walked away when you needed them most. Instead, thank Allah for showing you the truth, for removing the false from your life, for protecting you from hearts that were never sincere. And then, hold tight to those who remained, however few they may be. Value their loyalty, nurture their sincerity, and pray for them, for they are among the greatest blessings in your life. And remember, true friendship is never proven in smiles, gifts, or words. It is proven in the storms of life. It is tested in the darkness of trials. It is measured by who remains when everything else has been stripped away. Those who stay are your true companions, and their loyalty is a mercy sent to you from Allah. Envy is one of the most destructive diseases of the heart. It begins quietly, hidden, almost unnoticed, but it grows until it poisons relationships, breaks trust, and destroys peace. A person who envies you may smile at you, speak kindly to you, and even pretend to celebrate your blessings, but deep inside, their heart is burning with jealousy. They do not see your blessings as a gift from Allah. Instead, they see them as something they wish to snatch away from you. And when envy takes root, it does not only harm the one who is envied, it consumes the very soul of the one who carries it. The Prophet warned us that envy eats away at good deeds like fire consumes dry wood. Imagine the good deeds you worked for, your prayers, your charity, your fasting, all being burned to ashes simply because you allowed envy to linger in your heart. It is not worth it. Envy is a fire that begins in the heart of the envier, and before it harms anyone else, it destroys the one who carries it. This is why we are taught to seek refuge in Allah from the evil of the envier when he envies. When you look around, you will notice how envy has destroyed families, friendships, and even entire communities. How many siblings no longer speak because one could not bear to see the success of the other. How many friends have turned into enemies because of jealousy over wealth, status, or marriage? How many relationships have collapsed because one heart could not accept that Allah had blessed another? Envy blinds a person to the truth that Allah is the giver of blessings. He gives to whom He wills, when He wills, in the measure He wills. No one can take what He has decreed, and no one can stop what He has destined. A true friend is never envious of your blessings. Instead, they thank Allah for what He has given you, and they pray for your increase. They understand that your success does not take away from their share, that your provision does not reduce theirs, and that your blessings are a sign of Allah's generosity, not a threat to their lives. A friend who envies you is not a friend at all, for envy is rooted in resentment, not love, and love and envy cannot live in the same heart. We must also be careful not only of the envy of others, but of envy within ourselves. It is easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives with those around us. We see someone with more wealth, a happier family, better health, or greater opportunities, and a seed of jealousy tries to grow within us. If we do not stop it, it will poison our soul. The believer fights envy with du'a. When you see someone blessed, say, MashaAllah, Tabarak Allah, acknowledging that it is Allah who gave them that gift. Pray for them instead of resenting them. By doing so, you purify your own heart and protect your deeds from being consumed by envy. Remember that envy is a form of ingratitude to Allah. When you envy what someone else has, you are essentially questioning Allah's wisdom in giving them that blessing. You are saying, why not me? But Allah knows what is best for each soul. He gives wealth to some as a test, poverty to others as a trial, health to one person as a blessing, sickness to another as purification. Every condition is perfectly tailored by His wisdom. When you envy, you are objecting to His divine plan. But when you accept His decree, you find peace because you know that what He chose for you is the best for you, even if you do not understand it at the moment. The poison of envy often shows itself in subtle ways. A person may not openly harm you, but they may withhold support, fail to rejoice at your success, or quietly spread words that diminish your blessings. Sometimes envy hides behind silence, sometimes behind insincere praise, sometimes behind unnecessary criticism. This is why we must be cautious, not fearful, but aware, and our greatest protection is turning to Allah with sincerity, asking Him to shield us from the harm of those who carry jealousy in their hearts. The Prophet taught us beautiful supplications for protection. Recite the last two Ras of the Quran, Al-Falaq and An-Nas, for in them we ask Allah to protect us from the evil of what He has created, from the harm of envy, and from the whisperings of hidden enemies. Keep your connection with Allah strong, for when He guards you, no envious soul can harm you. At the same time, fill your own heart with contentment. Be pleased with what Allah has given you, and envy will never find a place in your soul. The one who trusts Allah's wisdom, who believes in His mercy, who knows that their sustenance is written, will never waste time resenting the blessings of others. Instead, they will focus on gratitude, on patience, and on striving to please Allah. If you have ever been hurt by envy, take comfort in knowing that it does not go unnoticed by Allah. He sees the envy, He sees the betrayal, He sees the pain it causes, and He is the best of protectors. Sometimes He allows envy to harm us only to elevate us, to cleanse us, to draw us nearer to Him. And sometimes He shields us from harm in ways we do not even realize. Whatever the case, His mercy surrounds us, and His wisdom governs all things. So never despair when you encounter envy. Pray for protection, seek Allah's mercy, and purify your own heart from this poison. Surround yourself with companions who are sincere, who rejoice in your success, who pray for your blessings, and who remind you that envy has no place in a heart filled with love and taqwa. Because envy is poison to the soul, but the mercy of Allah is the antidote. Actions reveal the truth that words often try to hide. Smiles can be false, words can be empty, promises can be broken, but actions will always expose the reality of a heart. You cannot measure the sincerity of a friend by how often they smile at you, how many times they praise you, or how sweetly they speak. Those things are easy to do. What is hard is standing by someone when they are in need, supporting them when they are weak, and sacrificing for them when there is nothing to gain in return. That is when the truth of friendship is shown. Actions never lie, while tongues often do. Many times in life we are misled because we give too much value to appearances. We hear kind words and we assume they are rooted in loyalty. We see smiles and we assume they are signs of sincerity. Yet Allah has told us in the Quran that there are people who say with their tongues what is not in their hearts. Words can be used as a mask, but actions are far harder to disguise. The hypocrites in Medina would sit in the gatherings of the Prophet. They would smile, they would speak with apparent respect, but their hearts were filled with hatred. How did the truth become known? Through their actions, through their betrayal, through their refusal to stand firm when the community needed them, through their absence in times of sacrifice. Their smiles meant nothing, for their actions exposed them. When you look for sincerity, do not be deceived by who praises you when life is easy. Look instead at who stands with you when life becomes heavy. A smile at your success means little if that same person cannot support you in your trials. Words of encouragement are hollow if the speaker abandons you when your world falls apart. Actions are the real proof of love, sincerity, and friendship. Even in our own relationships, we must be careful. Are we the type of friends who only offer smiles and kind words, or do we also prove our sincerity through our actions? It is not enough to claim love and loyalty with the tongue if our behavior does not reflect it. True companionship is about sacrifice. It is about being there when it is difficult, not only when it is convenient. It is about giving without expecting to receive, helping without keeping score, and standing by someone when others have walked away. A person who only smiles at you but cannot be there when you are in pain has not truly understood the meaning of friendship. A person who speaks beautifully to you but does not act in your favor when you need them most is not sincere. And sometimes, a person who may not smile often, who may not flatter you with constant words, but who quietly stands by you, supports you, and sacrifices for you, is the one whose friendship is most valuable. Actions carry more weight than appearances. The Prophet taught us that the most beloved deeds to Allah are those done consistently, even if small. Notice that Allah values deeds, not words alone. A kind word is a good deed, yes, but if it is not supported by sincerity and consistent action, it loses its meaning. The same applies in friendship. Deeds of loyalty, however small, outweigh 1,000 empty words. A friend who calls you in your hardship, who prays for you in your absence, who covers your faults, who quietly supports you, is worth more than 100 who simply smile but do nothing. We live in a world today where appearances are glorified. People are judged by their outward image, their words, their online posts, their public gestures. But behind all of that lies the truth of character, and character is always revealed in action. A righteous friend is not the one who tells the world they support you, but the one who actually shows up when you need them. A sincere heart is not the one that flatters you with words, but the one that proves love through sacrifice. When life tests you, pay attention. Who stood by you, who helped you, who prayed for you, who supported you without seeking benefit in return? These are the people whose actions revealed their sincerity. And just as importantly, ask yourself the same. Did you stand by your friends when they were in hardship? Did you prove your words with action? Did you sacrifice when it was difficult? Because in the end, your own actions will define you far more than your words. A smile may hide jealousy, but an action cannot. A word may be false, but a deed speaks truth. That is why the believer is cautious, measuring not by smiles but by sincerity, not by words but by deeds. And above all, the believer places ultimate trust not in human actions but in the mercy of Allah. For His actions toward us are always sincere, always perfect, always filled with wisdom and love. Because in the end, it is not the smiles around you that define who your true friends are, but the sacrifices they make when the world turns dark. Actions will always reveal what tongues try to conceal. The people you surround yourself with will shape the direction of your life, whether you realize it or not. Your companions are mirrors of who you are and who you are becoming. Walk with the righteous, and you will rise toward righteousness. Walk with the corrupt, and you will be pulled into corruption. This is why the Prophet taught us that a person is upon the religion of his close friend, so each of you should look carefully at whom you take as a companion. It is not merely advice, it is a warning. The path you choose is influenced by those who walk beside you. Human beings are naturally influenced by their environment. We adopt the habits, the language, the mindset, and even the outlook of those we spend the most time with. If your closest companions remember Allah, you will find your heart being softened and guided to remembrance. If your closest companions forget Allah, indulge in sin, and live heedless lives, you will find your heart drifting in the same direction. Rarely does one walk in mud without their clothes being stained. The soul is no different. When you choose companions who remind you of Allah, who pray with you, who encourage you to seek knowledge, who lift you when you fall, who advise you sincerely, your path will always be one of growth. Their actions become a source of strength, their words a shield, their company a form of protection. But when you surround yourself with companions who pull you away from prayer, who normalize sin, who feed envy, who encourage disobedience, you may not even notice how you are slowly led astray until you have drifted far from Allah. Companionship is not just about having company, it is about shaping character. The Prophet gave us the parable of the good and bad companion. The one who keeps company with a seller of musk will either leave with perfume or at least enjoy its fragrance, while the one who keeps company with a blacksmith will leave with burnt clothes or at least the stench of smoke. This is the reality of influence. You may think you are unaffected, but over time you are shaped by the people closest to you. Think of how even small habits are influenced by those around you. If your friends speak foul language, you will find yourself repeating it. If your friends miss prayers, you will find your own prayers becoming delayed. If your friends gossip, you will find your tongue joining them. But if your friends are those who value silence, who avoid backbiting, who protect their prayers, who fast, who remind you of Allah, then your soul will rise in their company. This is why companionship is both a blessing and a test. A righteous companion is a treasure, someone who will shield you from sin, pull you out of darkness and carry you toward Jannah. A corrupt companion is a danger, someone who will normalize sin, make disobedience easy, and distract you from your true purpose. Every day, you must choose who sits beside you, who walks with you, who you open your heart to, because that choice will echo into your faith, your actions, and even your destiny. We must not only think about the companionship of friends, but also reflect on the companionship we provide to others. Are we the kind of companions who guide people to Allah, or the kind who distract them from Him? Do our actions encourage remembrance, or do they normalize heedlessness? Do we lift others, or do we drag them down? Just as we long for righteous friends, we must strive to be one. Sincere companionship is not about what you can take, but what you can give. There are times when you will find yourself feeling lonely because you chose to step away from corrupt companionship. That loneliness is not a punishment, but a gift. It is Allah protecting you from those who would harm your soul. Sometimes it is better to walk alone with Allah than to walk in a crowd that leads you away from Him. The loneliness of righteousness is sweeter than the company of corruption, and if you remain patient, Allah will replace your loneliness with companions who are better for your heart and your hereafter. The Quran warns us of a day when some people will regret the companions they chose. On the day of judgment, the wrongdoer will bite his hands and say, "Woe to me! If only I had not taken that one as a friend. He led me away from the reminder after it had reached me." Imagine the regret of standing before Allah and realizing that the people you chose to walk with in this world pulled you away from eternal salvation. Do not wait until it is too late. Reflect now. Look at those around you. Ask yourself, are these companions leading me toward Jannah or toward regret? At the same time, think of the joy of those who walk with righteous companions. On the day of judgment, they will be reunited with their friends in paradise, rejoicing together because they supported one another in obedience, in patience, and in faith. What greater joy is there than walking together in this world and entering Jannah side by side? So choose wisely. Do not judge companionship by smiles or words, but by sincerity and influence. Surround yourself with those who remind you of prayer when you forget, who lift you when you are weak, who celebrate your blessings without envy, who speak truth to you even when it is hard to hear. These companions are not only your support in this world, they are your bridge to the hereafter, because your companions will shape your path, and the path you walk will shape your destiny. Every heart longs for someone to lean on, someone who will never let it down, someone who will always be there when the world turns away. But no matter how loyal a friend may seem, no matter how sincere a companion may be, they are still human, bound by weakness, limitation, and imperfection. Even the truest friend can falter, even the most loving heart can fail, but Allah never fails. When you place your trust in people above your trust in Allah, disappointment will eventually visit you. But when you place your trust in Allah alone, your heart will never be broken, for He is Al-Wakil, the ultimate disposer of affairs, the one whose promise never changes, whose mercy never runs dry, whose support never fades. Allah tells us in the Quran, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him." This is not just a verse to be recited, but a reality to live by. Imagine the power of that statement. If you rely on Allah, He is enough. Enough when the world betrays you, enough when the doors close, enough when even those closest to you misunderstand you, enough when you feel abandoned. People may promise to stand by you and yet be forced to leave, but Allah remains when all else is gone. His door never closes, His mercy never withdraws, His love never fades. How many times have we seen lives crumble because someone placed all their hope, their trust, their dependence on another human being? A person invests their heart entirely in a friend, a spouse, a leader, only to find betrayal, abandonment, or loss. The pain is unbearable because the trust was misplaced. But when you anchor your heart to Allah, when you understand that He alone is the true protector, the ultimate provider, the unfailing guardian, then no betrayal can shatter you, no loss can destroy you, no abandonment can leave you hopeless. It is not wrong to love people, to rely on them in matters of life, to appreciate their support. Islam teaches us to value companionship and to be grateful for those who help us. But there is a difference between appreciation and dependence. You appreciate the creation, but you depend only on the Creator. You love the creation, but your ultimate love belongs only to Allah. You thank the creation, but you recognize that it is Allah who placed them in your life. Allah who used them as a means of giving you sustenance, support, or comfort. Without Allah, even the most powerful Allah is powerless. With Allah, even if you stand alone, you are stronger than entire armies. Think of the Prophet in the cave with Abu Bakr during the Hira. The enemies were at the mouth of the cave, so close that Abu Bakr whispered in fear, "If they look beneath their feet, they will see us." And the Prophet reassured him with words that echo through time, "Do not grieve, indeed Allah is with us." That is trust in Allah. At the moment when every human calculation pointed to disaster, the Prophet relied on Allah and Allah delivered them. This is the reality of tawakkul, true reliance. It is not passive, it is active. You take the means, you do your part, you strive with effort, but your heart is not attached to the means. It is attached to the one who controls the outcome of all means. When you trust Allah, you free yourself from the chains of disappointment in creation. You stop expecting perfection from those who are imperfect. You stop demanding constancy from those who are temporary. You stop burdening fragile hearts with a weight only Allah can carry. This does not make you cold or distant. It makes you balanced. You love people for the sake of Allah, but you do not worship them with your trust. You appreciate their help, but you do not collapse if they cannot give it. Your strength, your peace, your certainty flows from Allah, not from people. And know that trusting Allah is not only for times of difficulty. It is just as necessary in times of ease. Many turn to Allah when doors close, but forget Him when doors open. True tawakkul means trusting Him in every state, trusting Him with your provision when your business flourishes, trusting Him with your health when your body is strong, trusting Him with your loved ones when they are by your side. Because the reality is, even in those moments of ease, it is Allah who sustains you. The blessing you enjoy is not yours by your own power, it is His gift. Without His will, not a single leaf would fall, not a single breath would be taken. This is why Allah sometimes tests us by removing the things we lean on. A friend disappoints us, a loved one leaves, wealth diminishes, health declines. These moments hurt, but they are reminders. They remind us that nothing in creation is permanent. Nothing in this world can hold the weight of our trust. These trials are not meant to destroy us, but to redirect our hearts back to the one who never fails. Every time you are let down by creation, it is an invitation to rise higher with the Creator. The Prophet himself, though loved by his companions like no one else, placed his full trust only in Allah. He taught us through his life that even when surrounded by people, your ultimate refuge is with Allah. And when Allah is your refuge, you find peace even in the storm. You find light even in the darkness. You find hope even when all seems lost. So place your trust where it belongs. Do not hand your heart to fragile beings and expect them to carry its weight. Give it to Allah, and He will guard it, nurture it, and fill it with peace. He is Al-Hafiz, the protector. He is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. He is Al-Wakil, the trusty. He is enough for every pain, every worry, every hope, every dream. Even the truest friend is human and can fail you. But Allah never fails. Place your trust in Him alone, and you will never be disappointed. My brothers and sisters, remember, smiles can hide hearts. Friendship is tested in hardship, envy destroys, and actions speak louder than words. Choose companions who lift you towards Allah, and place your trust in Him alone, for He will never fail you. Until we meet again, keep your heart connected to Allah, guard your soul with patience and prayer, and walk in the light of His mercy. May Allah bless you, protect you, and grant you peace always. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.